Gude! In today's technical walkthrough, I would like to show you how to install and set up Mycroft's Mimic 3, a text-to-speech solution that runs offline, is Raspberry Pi compatible, has over 100 voices available, and all the voices have really a nice quality. But before going into the details on how to set it up, I would like to recommend you taking a look to Jay's Learn Linux TV YouTube channel. I have linked it in the description box below because he already made a great video on Mimic 3. But obviously wait with watching Jay's video after you finished this one. And after you finish this one, give this one a thumb up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. So thank you for that. And then jump to Jay's Learn Linux TV channel and watch his Mimic 3 video. So that's all for now, and enjoy the ride.
Gude! Hacky, techy, nerd stuff. Open voice enthusiast. Open voice, open future. So yeah, welcome to the technical walkthrough of Mimic 3 by Mycroft AI. But before starting, what do you think of that great and amazing splash screen? Sorry, no, but just kidding. But as I'm trying to improve the way I make these videos for you, please let me know in the comments what you think on the way I'm doing this. But now let's go into the topic and start by taking a look to Mycroft's Mimic 3 GitHub page. So let's start with our browser. Go to GitHub, Mycroft AI, Mimic 3. Scroll a little bit down to the documentation link and hit it, which will bring up the Mimic 3 documentation, starting with the requirements. So let's first of all give this a check. Hardware requirement: Mimic 3 runs on desktop computers and run on desktops and on Raspberry. Obviously, depending on your personal hardware. But in general, it's running the fastest on a desktop computer, is running usable as it's tagged here on a newer revision of the Raspberry Pi, like revision 4, and is still running on older revisions of the Raspberry Pi. Categorized here as slow with an RTF, so a real-time factor of 1.3. I do not really agree completely to that, because I think an RTF of 1.3 isn't really slow, but it might depend on your use case. So if you use it in a voice assistant, I agree 1.3 might be too slow, but depending, as I said, on your use case, this might be totally okay. So nothing too special on the hardware side. Let's go down to the software. It's running on Linux, so Windows and Mac OS is missing here in this list. Is it a list when there's just one item? So, okay, but nevertheless, there is no Windows or Windows or Mac OS listed. But as Mimic 3 is able to run as a container instance, this might be a workaround to get it up and running on other host systems. Python 3.7 is required. Recommendation seems Python 3.9. I have Python 3.8 on my system, so this should be fine. And some system and Python library dependencies, so nothing too special here. Yeah, that's all on the requirement side. Let's take a look to the ways you can install and operate Mimic 3. Obviously, not really surprising, it can be operated as a plugin for Mycroft's AI voice assistant, because it's their component for text-to-speech. So I will give this one a try using my Mark II developer kit later on. So let's check what other methods are available. As I said, you can run it as a container instance. You can install it as a Debian package. So just hit that latest release link and download the Debian file for your hardware architecture. You can run it by using the pip command, so downloading it from the Python package index. And last but not least, you can clone the repo and install it from source. What I will do now is I will give every of these installation methods a try, starting from source. So let's just take this one and clone the repo. For that I will highly professionally switch the scene, and I have an empty folder in my home directory, and as I said, I have Python 3.8, so this should be fine. And now let's just paste this one. Seems pretty small. Mimic 3, and as it's written in the documentation, just run the install shell script. Seems as it's creating a Python virtual environment and installing all the dependencies. So I wouldn't really be surprised if this is mostly identical with the Python package index or the pip way of installation. So installation is completed. According to documentation, let's enter our virtual environment by running source vn bin activate. So I'm now into that Python virtual environment, and let's check pip list and grab for mimic. So looking good. Mycroft mimic 3TTS module is installed. Let's just give this a try by running mimic 3 server. Looking good. It's binded its port 59125 to a local host. So for that I will open another tab and go to localhost. Yeah, so this is bring up Mimic 3 web page. So I will not give this a deeper look right now because I just at first wanted to install it in every supported way. So let's scroll down, which is the next Python package index. So let's take this one, pip install upgrade pip. Let's start that Python package by creating a new empty folder. Let's call it mimic 3 minus pip, because I personally prefer working with Python virtual environments. So I would like to create a new one and activate it. So I'm now into that mimic 3 pip virtual environment. Let's just check that there's no mimic installed at the moment. Okay, and according to documentation, let's start by updating the pip command. Okay, and next step is installing mimic 3 by pip, and you can change that all in the brackets with the language code to just download it for a specific language. Process finished. Let's just check the pip list, and now hopefully mimic 3 is installed. Yeah, and again let's see if we can just run the server process as one example. Yeah, so no need to check it again in the browser. We will we'll do a closer look, or take a closer look soon after playing around with every installation method. So let's cancel that one and leave the Python virtual environment. So, and that's for the pip way. Let's check what's next on our list. Python package, then using Debian packages from the latest release page. So let's just download this file, copy link, and continue on the command line. First of all, let's check if there's no mimic installed at the moment. No, looking good. And let's download the Debian package. So here we are. installation finished. And again, let's just check our package list. Yeah, and here we have the Mycroft MMX3 package installed. And again, let's see if there is a command available and running. Ta-da! So, and stop it again. So, pretty straightforward till now. So let's go for the next one. Docker image. So let's just copy this one. And I've installed a Docker system on that host. So let's just paste it in. Maybe just and probably need a sudo before. That's what I expected it. So let's give it a sudo. Yeah, when you run this the first time, honestly, I tested this one before making the actual video. So I have already downloaded all the Docker images. So this might take some time and doing some download stuff when you run it the first time. So, and again, web is available on port 59125. So, and that's all the installation method I would like to show you at the moment, because the TTS plugin for Mycroft AI, I would like to play around with that on the Mark II developer kit. So let's start with the command line. Here's a simple example calling mimic3 -- voice, then put in the voice you would like to use it, the text obviously, and the output file name. Switch to our command line and run mimic3 -- voices. That will bring up a list with all available voices. Nothing really beautiful, but it's doing the job. So we can see on the first column that key. So this is the value we have to put in the mimic command line. Let's play around with one of the English US voices and just run as it's printed in the example. Take this one, replace voice with one of the English voice keys, and my super creative text again. This is a test, and we'll stay with output WAV. Just in case the model hasn't downloaded already, it will be downloaded automatically. You can run the mimic3 download command to manually download voices without running mimic3 or mimic3 server, but in general this will happen automatically as it's done in this case. So when I'm right, we should have an output WAV, and let's check if it's a WAV file. So looking good, 22 kilohertz sample rate. So now we have synthesized that phrase on the command line. So let's give it a listen.
This is a test.
Okay, sounding good.
This is
Simple
a test.
That's the easiest way to synthesize WAV file audio output with mimic3 command. So let's go one step further and run our mimic3 web server. So it's available on port 59125. So let's switch to our browser and open this one. And here we are, simple web front end with a text area in the upper position. And we have several available languages you can choose from that drop-down list. And for some languages, I'm going to switch to English. There are multiple data sets available where the models has been trained on. So such as this list, I'm going to choose the LJ Speech, which is a really famous English voice dataset by Linda Johnson and prepared by Keith Ito. So let's choose this one. And in this case, we have just one speaker. But there are datasets available you have multiple speakers available, so you can choose from whatever you would like to have it. This phrase is just a super simple test. Newest release of Mimic. So let's speak the sentence.
This phrase is just a super simple test of newest release.
We have the feature to enable that markup language for speech. So let's just open some examples. With SSML, you have little influence on the ways on the way the voice is synthesized, such as adding breaks, switching to another language, or raising volume or stuff like that. So let's just play around a little bit with that. This phrase, let's then add a break with for one second, and let's switch the volume a little bit higher. Let's make it 200% of newest release. So, and give this one a try.
This phrase is just a super simple test of newest release of Mimic.
Okay, the volume didn't really increase that much as I would expect it to do.
This phrase
Pause is working.
is just a super simple test of newest release of Mimic.
So, not sure if the volume really worked out well, but this might depend on the language. So let's just give it a try with another speaker. And what you can't see, but I can see, I can show it to you, that right now we have chosen a new voice model, so it's downloaded automatically. So no need to do this with Mimic 3 download by yourself.
This phrase is just a super simple test of newest release of Mimic.
Okay, not sure why, at least it feels not really working, that volume, but this might be some misunderstanding by myself. So, but in general you can add SSML tags to your output. This works on the command line and again on this simple web front end. There is a great addition that Mimic 3 is compatible, or the web server is compatible to a product called MaryTTS. So let's check the documentation for MaryTTS. So you can use Mimic 3 as a TTS component with every other software solution that already now supports MaryTTS, such as it's written here in the example, a famous open source smart home software called Home Assistant. So, and that should be it for the first look. So we've installed it Mimic 3 on various ways. We played around with the command line Mimic 3 tool to synthesize voice. We played a little bit around with web front end, and we've seen that there is SSML support. So please give it a try yourself and play around with it. And I think the community and especially Mike from Mycroft AI, they will be happy to hear your feedback on what you think, what ideas you have to improve it, what use case you are using it for. So please jump on to the Mycroft AI community and leave your feedback on Mimic 3. So, and that's it for my technical walkthrough, Mimic 3 by Mycroft AI. If you liked that video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. This would really help me a lot. And let's discuss in the comments on what you think on Mimic 3. And again, think on taking a look to Jay's video on Mimic 3 on his Learn Linux TV channel. I will leave a link to that in the description below. And if you would like me to make a video on how to set up Mimic 3 in an environment for Mycroft AI, either on a desktop computer or on a Mark II developer kit, please leave a comment and let us discuss about that. And maybe I will do another video on how to integrate Mimic 3 in the Home Assistant. So that's all for today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see us, hopefully, if you would like to, next time. Bye bye. Ciao.